Hi everyone, I hope you're well. This is Selina. Welcome back to one of my videos. If you're new to my channel, my name's Selina and I release a crochet tutorial weekly. So this week I'm bringing to you a gorgeous new free pattern and tutorial on how to crochet this beautiful V-stitch Edwardian Era wrap. So this is part of my vintage crochet series. I will be linking my vintage crochet series playlist just here and in the down bar. And yes, so I absolutely adore this wrap. So the Edwardian era is characterized by jewel tones and delicate fabrics and patterns. So this really fits the fashions of the time because of the gorgeous V-stitch. And then I just added a beautiful chain arc edging just here. So I will be going through this all step by step. The free pattern is, as always, available on my blog, selinaveronique.com, and also lots of photos on my blog and everything you need to know about this pattern. So for this project, I used a 5mm crochet hook. I used this yarn, which is Sirdar #1. And again, I will be linking everything in the down bar. And basically this is a light 3 yarn in American terms and a DK yarn in British terms. And it's 50% acrylic, 50% nylon. However, you can use any light 3 yarn or DK yarn that you prefer. It's absolutely fine. And this is an absolutely gorgeous shade of lilac, and it's shade 212. So yes, you will also need a pair of scissors and a tapestry needle, and that's it. So I'm just going to jump right into the tutorial. I hope you enjoy it. So for this project, you are going to start by making a slip knot and placing your hook through the loop, tightening, and now you are simply going to be chaining 55. So just go ahead and chain 55. 1, 2, 3. So I've chained a smaller amount, but the principle is the exact same. So now that you've chained 55, you are going to be placing, you're gonna skip, you're gonna count 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And you are going to be placing in that 5th chain from the hook 2 double crochets together. So you've skipped 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're going to go into the 5th chain from the hook and place 2 double crochets in that chain. So just place one first. So wrap your yarn around your hook, go into that chain, pull up a loop. You've got 3 loops on your hook. Go through 2 loops and go through 2 loops, and that's your first double crochet. And you're just going to go again into that same stitch and place another double crochet into that, and that creates our first V-stitch. And and it's created with 2 double crochets inside that same chain. And this first chain 4 counts as a double crochet and chain 1 space, and this is what it looks like. So then once we've done that, we are going to skip the next chain here and go into the next right there. So just skip 1 chain and go into the next and place 2 double crochets into that together. So just go ahead and place 2 double crochets into that. And now you're going to skip 1 chain and go into the next and place 2 double crochets into that. Just go ahead and place 2 double crochets into that. You are going to skip 1 chain again, and so you are going to be skipping 1 chain again and going into the next and placing 2 double crochets into that chain space. So you see it's a very repetitive pattern and very easy. And so you should have a lot more V-stitches than me, but obviously mine is a sample, so it's just to show you what to do. And now we've got 2 chains left, and we are simply going to skip that one and then go into the last chain and place a double crochet into that. So just go ahead and place a double crochet into that, like so. And there we go. This is our first row of V-stitches. So basically for row 2, for row 2 you're going to chain 1, 2 and 3 and turn your work, and this counts as your first double crochet. So what we are going to be doing is working inside these V-stitches right here. So basically you've chained 3, this counts as a double crochet, so you're just going to go directly into the next V-stitch and place a V-stitch on top of that. So just go ahead and place 2 double crochets inside that space. You are just simply going to go directly into the next V-stitch. So this is the first V-stitch we've put a V-stitched in. And now you're going to go directly into the next V-stitch here and place a V-stitch inside that. Like so. You are simply going to go into the next V-stitch again and place a V-stitch on top of that again. Like so. And you're going to go into the next V-stitch and place another V-stitch on top of that, like so. And you should obviously have a much longer second row, but we've almost finished this row. We've still got one last stitch, so that was the last V-stitch here, and now we've got the chain 3 from the previous row into which we are going to be placing a double crochet into that. So just go ahead and place a double crochet into that, and this creates your second row of V-stitches. So basically this pattern is very repetitive, and you are simply going to be repeating row 2, so chain 3, so that's chain 3, turn your work, and you are simply going to repeat row 2. So we've chained 3 and we're going to go into the next V-stitch and place a V-stitch into that. And into the next V-stitch and place a V-stitch into that. And into the next V-stitch. And so on. So I'm just going to let you carry on with this pattern. So I'm just going to let you carry on row 2 until you have 52 rows in total, or until you are satisfied with the length of your shawl. I will be writing all the dimensions of my shawl on my blog and pattern if you're curious. But yeah, just carry on until you have 52 rows or until you're satisfied with the length of your wrap. And I'll show you how to do the chain arc border. So now I'm just going to show you how to create this beautiful border, which is the chain arc border. It's really easy to create, and I'll just show you on my sample. So basically you will have obviously a much longer project than mine, but it's the exact same thing for this border. So you are simply going to chain 1, turn your work, and this counts as your first single crochet with this first stitch. So you are going to go directly into the second stitch and place a single crochet into that. You're going to go into the next stitch and place a single crochet into that. You are going to go into the next stitch and the next and the next and the next, and you are simply going to be placing single crochets all the way along this edge. And now we've reached the corner, so I'm just going to directly go into that chain 3 from the previous row. I'm going to turn my work so that I'm facing this side, and because this is the wrong side of the stitches, if that makes sense, we are simply going to be placing our single crochets as equally as we can along that edge, if that makes sense. So just place your single crochets all the way along. You will want to have a good amount of single crochets along that edge because you don't want the project to be too tight, if that makes sense. So just make sure you have a good amount of single crochets along that edge. And now we are back at a corner, so just go ahead and place a single crochet here, and now you are simply going to go into each and every stitch along like we did previously and place a single crochet along that. So basically just do that and then just go around the other side here, and then I'll show you how to finish off this row. So there we go, I've almost finished this round. So basically I've just got one stitch to do like so, and then I've reached the chain 1 that we did when we began. So I'm just going to pop my hook through and slip stitch through that. And this is what it looks like. So it looks really nice and neat. And now we are just going to be chain arc edging this part. So for this part you are going to chain 3, 1, 2 and 3. You are going to skip this next stitch here, so you're just going to skip that that stitch and go into the next. Just go ahead and place a single crochet into that. Chain 3, 1, 2 and 3. Skip a stitch and go into the next and place a single crochet into that. Chain 3, 1, 2 and 3. Skip a stitch and go into the next. Chain 3, 1, 2 and 3. Skip a stitch and go into the next. And just do that all the way along. So just do that all the way along the edging. So just chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and just skip a stitch and go into the next, and it will be the same even in the corners, so that doesn't change. So just always chain 3, skip a stitch and go into the next stitch, and just carry on, and I'll show you how to finish off this chain arc edging. So I've practically finished this chain arc edging. I've chained 3 and I'm going to skip a stitch and go into the last stitch and place a single crochet into that to finish off this row. So place a single crochet into that, and we finished our chain arc edging, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. So now that we've finished, we are simply snipping off the yarn and pulling it through to create a knot like so, and this is what it looks like. So there we go, I've got my finished shawl. It looks really gorgeous and vintage, and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget to subscribe and give me a thumbs up if you liked it, and yeah, I hope you enjoy your week, and thank you for watching my video.